Hello everyone and welcome to this part of automation testing series, and in this particular tutorial we will be learning about object-oriented programming, and specifically we will be learning about the classes and objects. So let's begin. So what is object-oriented programming? So object-oriented programming, which is known as OOP, is basically a programming paradigm that uses the objects to represent the data and the methods. So whole object-oriented programming revolves around the objects because they help to organize the code into the reusable structures. Now, when we talk about the OOP, so basically you will be hearing a lot about the classes and the object. Now, what is a class? So class is basically a blueprint for creating the objects. It defines a set of attributes, which is data, and the methods, which is functions that created objects will have. A class encapsulates the properties and the behaviors of the objects. An object is basically an instance of the class. When the class is defined, no memory is allocated until an object of that class is created. Okay, so in simple words, basically a class is a blueprint. Let me give you a real-time example. If you want to develop your house, so first you go to the architect. It will design an architecture of your house on the paper or some on some board. Okay, and now this is a blueprint, or based on that blueprint you will be developing your actual house. So here that architecture is basically a class and your house is basically an object. And from that architectural diagram, basically you can create hundreds of the same houses in the actual form, right? So this is the concept, like you have an architectural diagram and you have the actual object. Okay, similarly you go to any company for the car and you have a design for the car on the paper, and from that you will be creating an actual car. So the design of the car is basically a class and the actual car is an object. Okay, so when we talk about the class, let me go to my Python here. Let me go to the Python file and let's create a class over here. So when you want to create a class, you need to use a keyword called class. Now let me take a different example. You might be heard about different examples of animals and cars. So let me give you a different kind of example for this one. For example, you are on my YouTube channel right now and you're here to learn something in terms of software testing and automation testing. You might want to learn Selenium, JMeter, Postman, anything, right? So let me create a class. It's basically a blueprint, and so I'll say testing Funda. This is the name of the class. So class keyword followed by the name of the class, and here I will create the different functions. So I will say learn underscore Selenium, and don't worry about the self keyword. We will learn about this self keyword in the later tutorials. Right now we're just creating a simple function over here, and here I say you are now learning Selenium, and let me copy this part of the code from here and let's create a couple of more functions over here. And now instead of Selenium, let me change it to Cypress over here. So learn underscore Cypress, and now you're learning Cypress. And let's again copy this one and go here and paste it here, and here let's say learn JMeter. Okay, and here I will change it to the JMeter. Now this blueprint has been created. Now you're on my YouTube channel and I created a blueprint for my YouTube channel. Now students will come and learn either Selenium, Cypress or JMeter. So what I will do is that now this class has three functions, okay, or the methods. Now what I will do is that I will create the objects. So objects basically here the students. So student can learn automation in terms of Selenium, Cypress or JMeter. So when we need to create an object from the blueprint, so class is completed over here, and now we need to create an object from this one. So I will say student1, and student1 here is learning about maybe Cypress. Okay, so So when we need to create a object over here, so student1 is equals to testing funda and with the small brackets. Okay, so basically we have just created an object. So object name should be same as the class name over here. And similarly, I will say student 2 and student 2 again. We are creating another object here. Okay, now once we created the object, so basically student 1 might want to learn Selenium and student 1 also want to learn the Cypress and student 2 might want to learn the JMeter. Okay, so now we have the objects over here. So simply using the objects, for example student 1, so using this object I can access the properties and functions of the class. Okay, so student 1 dot, you see that I'm getting the methods like learn Cypress, learn Selenium, learn JMeter. Okay, so I will say learn student 1 dot learn Selenium, and similarly if I go, student 1 wants to learn the Cypress here as well, and student 2 is basically want to learn the JMeter over here. So dot learn JMeter. So what we did is that if I summarize this one, so I just created a class with the name of testing funda. The keyword is class, name of the class. Then I created 3 functions. Okay, and def is used to create a function. And here the 3 functions is basically learn Selenium, learn Cypress, and learn JMeter. And based on this class, I created 2 objects, student 1 and student 2. And student 1 and student 2 is basically using the different properties of the class. Okay, and when we have created the 2 objects, basically in terms of technical, we have created an instance of the class. Okay, and now just run this one and see what happens. So you see that we got the response, and in the response we are getting you are now learning Selenium, you are now learning Cypress, you are now learning JMeter. And if I tomorrow, if one more student comes in and that student wants to learn JMeter, so I will say student 3 is equals to testing funda, and this student 3 is learning the JMeter as well. So learn the JMeter. So you see that the reusability. We have just created a template, and based on that the students are coming in and they are learning as per their requirement, right? So if I run this one, you see that this line is printed once and this JMeter line got printed twice, because the one is for the student 2 and the other is for the student 3. Okay, so this is basically the concept of class and the objects. So the points which you need to remember is that classes are the blueprints. Classes define the structure and the behavior of the objects. And in this example, testing funda class serves as a blueprint for learning the automation tools. Then we have objects, which are instances. Okay, so objects are created from the class and can use the methods defined within them. Here, the student 1, 2, and 3 are the instances of the class testing funda. Then there is a concept of encapsulation. So OOP allow bundling data attributes and methods that operate on that data into a single unit, which is known as class. Now, this example illustrates basic OOP concept in a very straightforward way without complex initializations. So this is the very basic introduction to the object-oriented programming, classes and objects, and in our upcoming tutorials we will be learning more about object-oriented programming, different pillars like inheritance, polymorphism, and so on. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you like our content, then do like, comment, share and subscribe our channel. Once again, thank you so much and see you in the next tutorial.